Hello. In this session, we will continue our examination of informal fallacies, covering numbers 5 through 9. First, the red herring. This fallacy is committed when the arguer diverts the audience's attention by ignoring the original issue and changing the subject to a different topic. Distraction is the tool. Often this fallacy consists in someone ignoring their opponent's argument and changing the subject. This is a tactic often used by politicians. For example, you argue that the new property tax law is unfair to middle-class families, but what we really need to focus on is the increasing threat of cyber attacks from foreign adversaries. Second, the straw man fallacy. This type of informal fallacy occurs through a distinct process when an arguer purposefully distorts their opponent's argument. First comes distortion, where the arguer intentionally misrepresents the original position, constructing a weak or altered version of it. Next is refutation, where the arguer attacks and refutes this newly distorted, weaker version. Finally, in the conclusion, the arguer claims that the opponent's actual argument has been completely defeated. For example, my opponent wants to reduce the military budget by 5%. It is terrifying that he wants to leave our country completely defenseless and vulnerable to all of our enemies. Third, missing the point. This informal fallacy occurs when an unexpected and unrelated conclusion is drawn from premises that logically point towards a completely different conclusion, such as, rates of robbery and theft have increased, therefore we should bring back the death penalty. Or, as another example, the local library's funding has been slashed, and they can no longer afford to buy new books or maintain their computers. Therefore, we should just tear the building down and build a parking garage. Next, the appeal to ignorance. This fallacy occurs when an argument asserts that a statement must be true simply because it has not yet been proven false, or that it must be false because it has not been proven true. This reasoning incorrectly treats a lack of evidence or proof as definitive evidence for the opposite conclusion. As one example, we have absolutely no proof that the defendant committed the robbery, therefore, he is an upstanding citizen and capable of crime. Our final informal fallacy today is the appeal to unqualified authority. This type of informal fallacy relies on citing a witness or authority figure who lacks the relevant credibility, expertise, or specialized knowledge regarding any specific issue at hand. Because the individual lacks the necessary background to make an informed judgment, their assertions do not provide reliable evidence or logical support for the conclusion. For example, we should definitely start drinking alkaline water for all our cellular health. A famous Hollywood star said this on a late-night talk show that I heard about the other day. Anyway, it cures all diseases.